Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for the DC Double Power Hour, week 23. Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow. I'm your host, Clay, and with me I have Nikki and Rachel. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I can't remember if I watched at least. I know I watched Arrow.
I watched Arrow too.
Oh, did you?
I did. And I was like, You just made that other episode sound so cool.
It was. The other episode was really cool. This one is more, I don't know. They're building up to something really, really big. And I don't know quite what. It's all over the place right now. It's so many possibilities.
Yeah. So do we want to start with Arrow? Or we want to start?
That's fine with me. I don't know.
All right.
Where do you want to start in Arrow since you watched it?
I literally just watched it, and now I can't remember where. Oh, we began with Diaz's backstory.
Yes.
Which was, it was interesting. I liked that they went there, but at the same time, I was like, you're gonna try. You're trying real hard here to make us like connect with this.
Feel bad for him. Then.
Yeah, and it's like it's really not working.
No.
I mean, it really sucked. He got tortured in the orphanage.
Like a legit nun's orphanage.
Yeah. Like, that kid was burning him. Like, that was really bad.
Yeah, that was real bad. I mean, and we don't know the situation that got him there, because he was older. He was like probably less than 10. Yeah. So, but he was older, and he had one picture of his dad. He did have a picture of his mom, and I didn't notice that. And we don't know anymore. We just got we don't know what his circumstances that he got actually put in the orphanage for. We can imagine because his parents passed away, but then there's different reasons that kids get put in orphanages.
Yeah, you're right. That's something I didn't even think of. Like why, what happened to his parents?
And the other kid was probably pissed off that he was still in an orphanage because he obviously he's a teenager and he hadn't even been adopted yet. No. Or he could have been one of those kids in orphanages that still has their parents but got taken away, but their parents aren't willing to give up their custody, their parental rights, and so he's just kind of stuck in limbo.
Oh, you know what? That could be.
Because I've seen that happen. It sucks. So Diaz was one.
Yeah, this episode is basically the Diaz and Laurel show.
Definitely.
Was interesting, and I liked to a certain extent. I did not like the weird mob scene. Because they were super nouveau riche, and it was just you guys don't strike me as an underground crime organization. Who are you people?
I think that's what they meant, especially with the son. The son was just an arrogant little rich baby spoon, silver spoon in his mouth, and thought, I could do whatever I want. I get whatever I want when I want it. And his dad thought the same way too, because he thought he was untouchable.
And even when
that's when you go. That's your downfall. Is when you think you're untouchable. That's when you fall.
And even when they cut to the dad, when the dad was on the phone with the son, and the dad was in this very super stereotypical, very rich person study, with a brandy in his hand and an elk mounted on the wall. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
No, they're very stereotypical, rich upper class that don't give a shit about anyone.
Yeah.
And I think some people, when they get that high in power, they tend to think they're above it all and that they can't get hurt. And like I said, that's when you're downfall. I think the other people there, the other three in the quadrant, don't think that.
That's what they're called. Yeah, they're called the quadrant.
The quadrant.
I keep forgetting the name because it's just so ridiculous.
Because each of them run a different part of the U.S. But the other ones are willing to hear Diaz out. And
they're also, like, way too laid back because they had no expressions on their faces while Diaz comes in and, like, murders a bunch of people in front of them. And then they're just like, yeah, sure, you're interesting. Let's work with you. And he sits in the chair of the guy he just murdered. It's like, what?
Well,
what just happened?
I'm pretty sure they've seen it all before. And obviously, the guy he shot, I can't even remember his name. He wasn't important.
It was not important.
He didn't take his proposal to them or anything. They had no idea who Diaz was.
Yeah.
But he's intriguing enough to them that be like, and I don't think they liked him either because she goes, I don't see an empty seat. It was like she was goading him to see if he would do it.
Oh, yeah.
He would, if he would actually kill this guy, if he would had enough balls to kill this guy to open a seat for him to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they liked him. I think he probably got to that point where he thought he was above it all, and he was doing back alley dealings and not talking to his partners like he should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they liked it. And I don't think they were. I think that's probably why they give two shits, because she said some off-cuff comment about her son, some like dodgy comment about his son. She did not like him. So honestly, they don't like him. So that's why I don't think they really gave two shits. They're probably thinking about doing it themselves, but they're like, hey, if we don't have to get our hands dirty.
Yeah. Also, it's not like they were trying to take a seat, so maybe they didn't want to kill him because then it's like, oh, now we have to interview people. It's like, oh.
Yep. Right. But yeah, no, it was actually, I mean, you think about it, it's like, at first it was like, okay, but then I thought about it, I was like, yeah, no, she knew exactly what she was doing. As soon as he walked in. Well, I have a feeling that he told her some things like, oh, after his son was kidnapped and killed and all this like this. I have a feeling that he told her some things and she was just like, well, that saves us from doing it kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she seems like she's the leader. Yeah,
she seems in charge. She was the one who like brings up the questions, and the other two didn't talk at all.
Mm-mm. Which is kind of, I mean, it's kind of cool, to have a lady head crime boss. But that's very, I mean, it's in every other depiction of like mobs or crime boss. If there is a woman head, they're not as much respected as the male. But I don't know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see more of her.
Yeah, she is very interesting. I mean, not only is she a woman, but she's a minority. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it doubles it, which is actually really kind of cool. Because it's not something you expected. Like, when he said the quadrant and, you kind of expected, like, 4 old, guys that,
I expected Karma and
old money. Yeah, kind of, old money or something like that,
Yeah.
But no, they were totally different. Each one of the guys looked different too. The two guys, they were like, one looked like he was like a CPA. He looked like he really did. Yeah. He had like, I don't know. And then the other guy we didn't see him very much, but I just remember one of the guys going, he looks like a banker or something. What the? Yeah, so they're very low key, which is actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, they probably have places in the community that are not just the whatever crime they're doing.
Mm-hmm. They probably have so many layers above them that they're padding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many layers above them that it would take years for anyone to get to them if they weren't on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So, It's a quite, I mean, it is an interesting premise that, realistically our country's ran, the dark web, ran by, 4 people, basically.
Yeah.
But I have to see where that goes. Laurel doesn't seem too keen on it, though.
No. And I found it very weird and interesting that Laurel has no problems killing people.
Mm-mm.
But she just cannot stand the way that Diaz kills people.
Mm-mm.
And it's not, his methods aren't even that much more brutal than hers, except for the setting the guy on fire. I'll give her that. That was brutal. But, like, when he was just punching the guy in the face and she, like, winces and looks away, I'm like, you just stabbed a guy with a table. Like, what?
No, I think because she doesn't have to physically do it. She doesn't physically touch them. She doesn't physically get in, what I'm talking about. Diaz is all about physicality. He punches them. He gets up close and punches. She usually screams at them.
Yeah.
And kicks them. And then screams at them.
That's
but
right.
She doesn't shoot. She doesn't use a gun very much, if at all. I don't think I'm trying to think if I remember her shooting the gun.
No.
But no, she doesn't get her hands. She doesn't get that close. And Diaz, everything when he hurts someone, it's very personal. And I think that's why they showed the backstory of him, because that's what he's using to fuel his self, is to get to a point where he can go back to that guy and be like, hey, I made something nice. Yeah. I'm better than you, kind of thing. Yeah. And I could see why he did it, but at the same time, it's like, that is a really juvenile thing to keep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how Diaz is. He's so powerful. He can be so powerful, but he's still that little kid.
Mm-hmm. He never made it out of adolescence.
He's still holding on to that anchor he felt when he was a kid. Mm-hmm. And he has never let it go. No, never let it go. Mm-hmm. And that's what he uses to inflict other people.
Yeah.
So that's his motivation. That's what he uses to light the fire in his ass. Well, no, he legit lit a fire in that guy. He found the guy. He found the guy that tortured him in the orphanage and lit him on fire. He had kids and everything.
He didn't care.
And Laurel was trying to talk him out of it.
She didn't try that hard, though.
Yeah, no. But I think when she tried, she realized when he was talking to her that there was no way.
Yeah, he's crazy.
It was futile, Mm-hmm. So at that point, it was either her or him, because easily he could have turned on her.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Are they like a thing? Because he weirdly touched her chin, and I was like, "What's happening?"
Well, she kissed him not this last episode, the episode before. So I don't know if she's just playing to keep herself alive at this point, or what. Or they did have a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
It was. It's hard to, like I said, right now, with Laurel Black-Siren, she's changing and she doesn't even know she's changing.
Yeah.
Like her telling him that she doesn't want him to touch Quentin, and the way, like in this episode, she's wincing at him, hurting, not really. I mean, she doesn't care. It's like she doesn't care, but she cares.
Yeah.
Because he's hurting these people. So she's changing, and the old Laurel wouldn't have tried to even remotely tried to talk him out of burning that guy.
Yeah, that's true.
She would have just let him do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think she's changing, and she doesn't realize she's changing. But I think soon she's probably going to become up against something that she's going to have to make a decision, a crossroads, and she's going to have to, and then she's going to realize that she's changed and she's not the person she was. And it's going to be hard for her because she's going to have to make a hard decision. Yeah. Whether or not it might lead to her death. So you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know which way she could tip.
Mm-mm.
Could go either way.
because even though Quentin doesn't trust her, he still treats her like a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she hasn't had that since she was, 13?
Yep.
And I think that was the tipping point, because she didn't have that love. She didn't have that father love. And now she's getting it. She's realizing, I think, that she went down the wrong way. But I think that she thinks she's too far gone to even turn back. She's done too much shit to turn back.
Yeah.
The show's all about redemption.
Sort of. And
kind of.
Show's also about sliding back into old ways.
Ollie
Ollie's
decides
back
to
to Solo.
Freaking Felicity out.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have trackers on him anymore.
Yeah, and she can't keep track of him.
I can see her side.
He's come back, and he comes back, and she's freaking out, and he's like, "It's okay. I promised I'd always come back." And it's like, really? You did you promise your son you'd never die? Is this Team America? Yeah. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, actually, he promised William that he'd always come back.
And William said that you can't control that.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with Felicity said.
And Ollie's reaction just baffled me. He's like, "Yeah, well, I made the promise anyway." And it's like, so what? I don't get it. I'm so confused.
I don't know. I think he knows more stuff now than he did when he first started. So,
yes, but
at the same time, I understand where Felicity. It's like, at least when she was Overwatch, when he was out there, she could see what was going on. She could hear him, and she could do something if something went wrong. It's out of her hands now. She's out of control, and she doesn't have control over it, so she's freaking out on that part. Mm-hmm. Then the second part, it's her husband, especially when they had the explosion.
Yeah.
And they hadn't heard from the Green Arrow, and the news was like, we don't know if he's alive or dead. She's freaking out and trying to keep her mind off shit by working with Curtis on their project.
Yeah. Which was cute. It was nice to see them teaming up together. And doing science.
Doing science. And they realized there's some things they just can't talk about right now. And as far as I know, I don't know, sodas have a long shelf life.
They do have a very long shelf life. They do expire, though. So if she has expired soda in her fridge, it's been
she had in there for over a year? It's been there for a long time.
I feel like soda's got to be like 2 years a shelf life, I think.
That's for something ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, that was funny because he kept bringing that up.
Yeah.
Even your expired sodas.
I think my favorite part about their exchanges was Felicity explaining the state of Team Arrow, and he was like, "Wow, I'm gonna try not to be very excited about this."
Right.
I was like, "No, revel in it. Ollie deserves it."
Yeah. After she told him that Diggle left, I'm interested to see if Diggle will actually take Lila up on joining Argus.
I thought he said that he did.
He's still thinking about it.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
all right.
Yeah. And Felicity's just throwing herself into the work right now because she's so freaking out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Until this is all over,
waiting for it all to fall apart.
Yeah, and I can understand where Ollie's coming from too. With all this shit with Diaz, he is the main target, and he doesn't want. He's trying to contain the spread. It's not like it won't spread to people around him, but he's just trying to, you know what I mean? He's trying to keep it as minimal as possible by going solo.
Sure. Back to basics, as they like to say this episode. Back to basics.
To basics.
I was like, basics, Ollie? Really? You mean like murdering people?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely, it wasn't, it was long, but the DS thing was just a build up. It was like,
it was
his steps to get to where he is.
Yeah.
And now that he is part of the quadrant, he's just like, and she's like, now that you got what you want, he was like, nope, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
And so we'll see
he
what happens.
Probably wants it all for himself or something. I don't fucking know.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get too greedy.
Yeah. They mentioned Caden James in this episode. What's he doing?
Caden James?
Yeah, what happened?
He died.
He died? Okay. Because I realized
Diaz killed him.
Wait, what the fuck
Diaz stabbed him in the neck.
Okay, all right. I was like, wait, what the fuck actually happened to him? So I didn't watch those chunks of episodes, so.
Yeah. Caden, yeah,
I didn't know. I couldn't
so,
remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next episode is called Shifting Alliance. We will see Oliver and Diaz have a bare knuckles reckoning. At some point through, Oliver seeks help from Anatoly to battle Diaz. Meanwhile, Renee is out of the hospital but has a hard time readjusting to his life as Wild Dog. Also, Lance discovers something shocking about Black Siren.
Shocking.
Shocking.
I'm sure it'll shock us all.
I'm sure.
All right, Nikki, ready to talk about the Flash?
It sounded like the episode of Arrow to me. I mean,
you know what's really funny? Why did we need another Laurel? I don't. When she came through from Earth X, I was just like, why though? It was interesting because her powers work a little differently, or at least she's more advanced than Black Siren.
I think it's just because she's more ruthless. I don't know.
Well, she can hear. Like, it's not just she projects the sound.
Yeah.
She receives sound differently.
From
far
miles away.
Very far away.
Yeah.
So in that regard, her powers are actually a little cooler. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just like...
I was like, why are you going through? The person that's hunting you just fucking went through a portal because you had the upper hand. You would still have the upper hand if you would have stayed. Maybe you would have gained some fucking ground if you didn't follow. But you had to follow because you were a dumb, vengeful bitch.
Exactly,
and you think
vengeance. She's the last one.
You had an opportunity here to, like, maybe, go wreck some shit and make a difference where you live rather than go to another Earth that has many fucking superheroes that can best you. So, yeah, that makes a lot of fucking sense, Black Siren Laurel, you piece of shit. I hate you still.
She could have even, like, stayed on Earth X and went after another hero. Because she wants revenge on all of them, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
really
Leo's not the only fucking dude that'll, like... Oh my god.
Although
go
it
after
was
his
a
boyfriend.
Treat. It was a fucking treat to have him on
it
the
was.
show.
It was. I love Leo is great. He is better than the therapist that they go see.
Yes, the therapist, the advice giver. Leo is amazing. Every time he's like, Barry, deal with your emotions, I'm like, preach! Somebody tell that boy what's up.
It's like, you know what? If you don't get your shit together, you're gonna get us all killed. Barry's just like,
no, I'm fine. No, the problem is he wouldn't cry. That's the problem. He's like, no, let me just shovel all my emotions deep down into that dark place.
He was just a waterfall of sorrow, and he wasn't letting it out.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm fine that one of my close friends just got murdered in front of me. No big deal.
Thing is, Ralph is still inside DeVoe, and it is Ralph's body, so Ralph is still there, very, very much so. They think he's gone forever.
Yeah, and that's what got him when they fought DeVoe, was that when they hit him and he elasticized, that's what got Barry. Barry was like, oh, right, you're Ralph. Fuck. And I loved that that's what tripped up the Thinker. That Barry had emotions. That's the one variable he can't account for, his emotions.
He even accounted for freaking Siren being there. Even though they're supposed to be from another freaking dimension or another universe, and he's not really supposed to have lines and figuring that shit out, he still had that figured out. And then Barry goes and like sobs in the corner, and DeVoe shits his pants like, what the hell happened?
I don't understand.
What?
How could the death of someone's close friend possibly impact them in any meaningful way? I don't understand.
And then there's his wife going, yeah, that's happened, you know. It's happening right now, you fucking prick. Give me some lovin'.
Oh, she wanted to bone down so bad.
Oh, I know.
It was so awkward.
I just...
And he was like, when she was so happy, he was like, I don't have to drug her today. I can put these tears away. And then once she was like just too persistent, he started drugging her again. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my goodness. I just can't with this series right now. Can this whole like, you know, storyline just crawl away, please? It's getting like ridiculous, super ridiculous.
They have to lean into it though. I feel like there's no other way to finish this off than to just lean into it. At this point, I think if Barry stops DeVoe with like a spirit bomb or something, I'll be totally okay with that. Just like it just turns into Dragon Ball.
No, what Barry needs to do is develop multiple personalities, and you know, and just decide to like go to DeVoe's place and just give him a 1-2-4 about all the emotions.
Or if this if this turns into like Sailor Moon and he destroys them with the power of love.
Oh my god. You know, that'd be way more interesting than what's going on right now.
Right? Well, I mean, if I'm right and the all the metas inside of DeVoe's mind defeat him, that I think that kind of counts as beating him with love.
Definitely. I feel like that would... I'm just worried about if that is a thing. What happens when DeVoe is a thing? Like, is Ralph gonna still have all these people inside of him, but DeVoe's gone?
Yo, I have no idea. They'll find some like bullshitty reason to fix all that, I guess.
I mean, I mean, they were talking about Killer Frost this episode, that she's still part of Caitlin. She's just...
Or at least there is still dark matter somewhere inside of Caitlin's DNA.
Right. So either Killer Frost is still there, she's just dormant, or it's just... I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with like the words they use to describe the like science of it. So it's a little hard to tell.
I don't know. I mean, the whole point that they got Snart back was to transfer Fallout, who I completely forgot was a bus meta, and you know, I forgot about him, honestly.
I mean, I remembered because I remembered because I have a problem with the way they treat like his powers, because if he let off that much radiation in a city, there would be much more lasting consequences, especially to the people standing right fucking next to him. There's no way they didn't like shit their pants or something. You can't just take that kind of radiation and just like la 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 la.
There would have been vomits, freaking geysers everywhere. There's no...
You would look terrible. Like...
Yes. Immediately. That much fucking radiation, you'd be sick on the exact second he started jacking up the juice. So...
Yeah, I know they were like, we gave you shots so you'll be better. It's like, no. It's... Probably stop some of the damage, but you'd still get sick.
Yeah. Because it's not just, you know... the actual chemicals. It's like radiation does give off heat. So yeah, you'd be feeling that too. So I don't know.
And I'm pretty sure also Like, they're like, oh, the rads went down. I'm like, yeah, but there's still radiation in the air. Like, it doesn't disappear. It's there.
I mean, there are some people who don't know better who watch. I mean, I do.
I'm not a scientist. Like,
No, I'm not, but
Yeah.
I played Fallout, so I know.
Yeah. No, I mean, yes.
No, I don't. I mean, yes, but no.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that radiation is a lasting thing. There are places like Chernobyl, you can't, because it's still radioactive after how many years? Like, it is a thing, and it lingers, and if it was that bad with his powers, yes, there would have been lasting damage everywhere.
Yeah, they're playing too fast and loose with his radiation powers. That's why I remember him.
Maybe.
Is because he like almost exploded in the middle of a busy street, you know?
Yeah, and like maybe it's that they're just doing that because they had 12 characters to get through this season, and maybe. This whole arc is kind of just paced too fast. Maybe that's why I'm not liking it. But
my problem was, you know, they introduced all these bus metas, and they're all cool, but one by one, well, not even one by one, like 5 sometimes per episode, just get like killed, you know?
Yep,
just
just
absorbed,
off.
dead. That's it.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I guess they're Kleenex. We're done. Throw it out. Move on.
I've done that before. To take the 2 Kleenex boxes, just go as fast as you can. It's so much fun. Except you get yelled at.
Well,
don't do that.
Yeah.
It's
a waste of tissues. I mean, unless you're gonna fold them back up, you know. But
I mean, I could have.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh.
Yes, they were delivering him to like an Argus facility or something.
A place that DeVoe wanted them to go to in the first place, but they weren't going there at one point, and he got all hissy fitty, and it still ended up in his favor somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm waiting for it to like. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I'm like waiting for something to happen though.
Waiting for DeVoe to get lost is what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
Like, get out. He's actually a terrible villain. Like, I was joking about Savitar. No, bring Savitar back.
I did really enjoy Savitar for like the most part. Not all of it, but you know.
Until they revealed Emo Berry, and then I was like, no, I'm done.
I kind of liked Emo Berry. It was funny.
He himself was okay, but him as Savitar was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But poor Wells, man.
I know, and it's... I want to feel bad for him. And I sort of on some level do. Like, dude, you did this to yourself.
Yeah, and I don't think as much as Cisco thinks that he can fix it, I don't think there is a fix. I think we're gonna lose Wells. I feel like the actor himself has decided he wants to move on and do other things, and this is their way of writing him out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, I'm trying to think. I don't know how I feel about it at all. Just that I think it was stupid that he went behind Cisco's back and did the dark matter anyway. Like a dumbass. Dumbest smart person.
There are so many of those.
So many dumb smart people.
But I mean, Cisco's, he had a brief moment of what the fuck, and then he went to, okay, well, let's figure this out. Because...
Well, he was also like, give me one of them thinking caps. And it's like, no, Cisco, boo-boo, no.
Yeah, Wells was going out of his way to protect him without telling him, which is stupid.
Yes. Because
But
it's like you're eventually going to show that you are forgetting things. You already seem more bumbling than, you ever were. So
he's also not very fiery either. He's argumentative, but he's not. Is it backlashing? Like he's not. He doesn't have a sharp tongue anymore.
Yeah.
Like so, I don't know if that's just him because he was trying to keep the secret from Cisco. Like he was just trying to sabotage the thinking cap around every corner. Or if he really, it's just because he's losing his intelligence. He doesn't have that retort system in his head anymore.
I think right now it's because he's losing his confidence. A lot of his quick wit was from his confidence. And now he knows he's going to start losing his mind, and he's just not confident in what he's saying.
I don't know. I think that whole, that is the most interesting part for me so far with this whole, problem, because I'm so sick of DeVoe, and I don't like the moment I saw Laurel's face, I was like, oh, fuck no. And, Leo's great, and I like how he was sticking it to Barry, being like, get your shit together. That was good. But
I did enjoy how smooth Leo is when he is handing Barry his ass. Like, it's very funny.
Also, when he's complimenting Cisco's hair.
Oh my, he's like, thank you. So
he got
cute.
all melty.
So cute.
That was good.
Oh my god, really?
Cisco, are you sure you're into girls? Oh man.
He might swing both ways. I really like Caitlin this episode because she's showing she's capable too. Like, she just takes the gun and,
well, I mean,
it.
cold is her thing.
It is.
Apparently now. Like, she's as much as she's like, she's just there. It's, no, you and Killer Frost are basically, like, best buds, like sisters. Like, you share everything kind of thing. So, like, it's just something that she's come to, like, be like, yep, this is my thing now because, I mean, it's so familiar. And
it connects
plus
her
it's cold. Yeah.
To Frost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can't wait for her to figure out how to get Killer Frost back, though.
I know. Then they can make more Post-it notes.
Maybe they'll, evolve to painting each other pictures or something.
Haha, that'd be great.
Or they
start
could
using different size and shape Post-it notes, too.
Or better yet, they get their own Polaroid cameras.
That'd be funny.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
Just leaving each other Polaroids all over the place.
Yeah.
So good. Like in Killer Frost selfies. The peace sign.
It's all Killer Frost with, like, just the people she's beat up. Just, like, bloody on the floor, like,
just holding their limp bodies, like, yeah.
Perfect.
I want it to be
and underneath, like, all of them, it'll just be, like, a little, don't worry, they're not dead.
And I know Caitlin would find that comforting right now. That would be something she'd be like, oh.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was this episode. It was...
Yeah.
Yeah. That was it. Let's see. Next episode is Therefore She Is. Gypsy returns. Barry and Team Flash team up with Gypsy to try to thwart the Thinker's plan. Meanwhile, Cisco and Gypsy have a heart-to-heart talk about their relationship. Uh-oh.
No, not this one too, Cisco.
I feel like it's not so much about their their relationship and more just about the job and how that will affect their relationship, because he's still thinking about taking the job as Breacher.
Yeah.
So I think it's more in that line. I don't think it's like they're not working out, you know?
I just, he just hasn't had the best of luck keeping girls around.
No, this is the longest standing relationship in this show for him.
I mean, she did, what was it? Was it Christmas time?
Give him a sexy...
She gave him, yeah.
sexy hologram.
Sexy hologram message type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a breakup cute. That was so funny.
Because Wally got one from Jesse, so he just assumed.
Nope, no.
Opens it. No. I get. Oh yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, that looks interesting. I mean, they're always gonna try to thwart Thinker's plan, so I mean that's gonna happen until the end of the season, I think. So.
Yeah. We're like 3 episodes out, I think. What's next episode is episode 20? Yeah.
So there's only
episodes.
20.
22
Is there
episodes.
4? Oh, 2.
I'm pretty sure it's 22. Unless Wiki is lying to me again. Because it has done that before.
I mean, sometimes they don't list the finale or the last couple episodes because of mystery's sake.
Yeah. I didn't look too hard.
But it seems to be with CW that they're ending on 23 episodes for most of their series this year.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so
4.
Yeah.
So not that long. I can't imagine we'd stray too far from the DeVoe story at this point.
No.
All right.
But they're gonna try to pull it all the stops, all the different characters, to see if they can,
Yeah.
fudge him up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Supergirl.
I liked this episode.
Oh, I love this episode. I love this episode so much. It was a little sad. I know we were just talking about Wells and how he's, like, losing his mind. That was his fault,
Yeah.
But now we have Jean's father.
Myrn,
who very sadly just has dementia.
Yeah. And
Is it dementia or is it Alzheimer's? I mean, they kind of go hand in hand.
They are
Dementia is the umbrella. Alzheimer's is a specific kind of dementia. And this is Martian dementia, so who fucking knows?
We don't know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But any kind of, because my grandfather had dementia, so like as soon as we found out that Myrn had some sort of dementia, I was like, I had like the big the lip and the tears, and I was just like, so every time I see him, I'm just like, can I hug you? I want to give you hugs.
Come here, Papa Martian.
I would
Papa
do it
Martian.
too.
Yeah.
I would.
What was Wynn's names for him? Martian Mandad?
Yeah,
Martian Manfather?
Yeah, something like that.
Martian Dad Hunter.
But I mean, it kind of shows how, even though they're Martians and they lived on, another planet, the parents still have that feeling when, even on Earth, like, I'm an adult, and you're trying to make, you're trying to mother me, and I'm the adult, but there's things going on in your head that,
you need help. Yeah.
I need help.
I also think that, I know that putting Myrn into that containment cell was for everybody else's good, but for him it was like he said, you're not putting me in prison again. I spent how many years in prison? It was a combination of, John not being able to talk to him properly because of the mental block with the dementia, and because felt like he was going to be imprisoned again. And
it's scared because they feel like they feel like they're losing their independence. Mm-hmm. They're losing something. you know, and that's a scary thing to think about, losing your independence, being able to do all this stuff.
And that's
because you can't remember shit.
Yeah, and that's, terrifyingly compounded upon when you think that this is a psychic being whose powers, he's very powerful.
Oh, yes.
And,
there was
his
at least
mind, that's his power.
There was at least 100 agents in the DEO, not to mention the Martians and the other, aliens that they had in containment cells.
He affected them all. He
all of them.
Fucked John's shit up. Yeah.
He was even getting through to Supergirl.
It didn't affect Mon-El, though.
It did because of the ring. The Legion ring was a barrier for him.
Right.
So he was
I do love that side of wind. We've never seen that side of wind before.
Oh my god. He got so aggro. I was like, no, Wind, put the gun down. I thought he had stabbed the agent. I was so, nervous.
Between what's going on with his with his father and his mom, all this other kind of shit, it's like, this just amplified everything. Yeah. And he went crazy a little bit.
Yeah, but, well, to be fair, they all went a little crazy.
I mean, the conversation between him and the other tech guy.
Pam from HR, she's just running down the hallway.
That was hilarious.
Sorry, Pam.
What did he do to Pam? I want to know.
He tased her.
No, I meant for her to come.
Oh, for her to go after him, yeah.
Maybe Wynn is just such a pain in the ass. He's always getting people reporting him, and she can't do anything, and it just finally. Whatever.
Oh, that's an amazing headcanon. Because they're not actual violations, but everyone just has something about Wynn that they find annoying that they come to Pam about.
Yep. And it's just way too much for her.
Your paperwork. I loved it when Alex all of a sudden saw the agent with the fucking big ass ruckle, and she's like, "Oh no!"
Oh no!
She was like, "Oh shit! Right. Oh, no! Yeah.
Yep. What the? Don't they lock that shit up?
But they're agents, they can get it.
Yeah, no. If they had the clearance, they would be able to get it. Yeah.
Oh my god! They need to rethink that.
Yeah.
Because weren't there alarms sounding and everything when that should be double locked up? Unless you had the top clearance.
Oh, that's a great question.
There's so many loopholes in these DC shows. I feel like the CW's slipping a little bit.
We also don't know how this organization really works. There's no...
That's true.
Yeah, there's who knows?
For it's kind of like a Homeland Security type thing for aliens, so you think they'd have the good stuff, but I don't know. I don't run shit like that, and I wouldn't know.
It's above my pay grade.
I don't have a pay grade, so it's way above it.
Yeah, the chanting ritual thing was that was just him moving his good memories to a safe place in his mind. Yeah, that was really interesting, and he couldn't quite keep up either because you saw he was even forgetting conversations he had just had with Sean.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to see a parent do that stuff. Mm-hmm. And him getting mad at Alex was understandable, but at the same time, she wasn't going to tell John. She was just like, it's up to you. But, when my grandma, it's just, she understood because of what happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I applaud shows that show, men actually crying. There were tears in Jean's eyes, and I don't know, that's thank you for doing that.
He's taking on a much different and tougher role now. He's gonna, not just the head of the of them, not the head of the agency anymore. He is now in charge of his dad. in his dad's care. It's different, and it's going to be a lot of change. A lot of shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
So not necessarily right.
What exactly did John do to his dad at the end there? Did he just take like the pain or the extra memories, or
the dampener?
A dampener around his wrist, so he couldn't.
He can't use his powers, really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did something before that too. It looked like he was like, as he put his hands on the side of his hand.
He might have taken his memories.
Yeah, there was that. He did do something to his dad before he put the dampener on, and I feel it was like he absorbed some of the extra power, or maybe some of the memories that was causing like a blockage or something, so that he was leaving, so he'd leave his dad with more room to obtain memories.
That might have been just him trying to connect with his dad to get him to stop or to accept the dampener.
Maybe.
I'm not quite remembering the order of that scene now, so I'm getting a little confused.
John just looked different after that, so I don't know.
Oh, was that after he fought the White Martian?
Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was like at the end of the episode, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember.
But at least, Supergirl got one of her cape tricks down.
Yes.
Oh, my lord.
Got her cape tricks down and got her everything out.
Yeah.
That's true. She got to, give
Monel everything.
Accidentally, a little too harshly, but at least it's out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, he understood that it wasn't her fault that she told him the way she did, but I don't think he expected the information to come out of her mouth at that pace either. So
he didn't. I think he understood too that what she was saying was true.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
he's like, shit.
When would Supergirl actually lie about that kind of stuff? I don't think she would. I mean, she would hide it. She would keep it secret, but she would never lie about it.
Keep it secret. No. Keep it safe.
But it's that look on his face, like, yeah, it's true. It's all true.
Mm-hmm.
I was a fucking asshole. And I think it actually hurt him because he's realizing now that, he wasn't the best he could have been for her. He could have been so much better, and she deserved so much better.
And
he would have gotten better, though.
Yeah, and it wasn't that he knew he was a jackass. It was that he didn't realize he never apologized.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what hit him, really, was that he's like, oh my god, I never apologized for being a jackass in the first place.
Yeah.
I like the promise, though, that they're not going to apologize.
But,
it's out there. They apologize. It's over. Moving on.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he's married and with his wife and everything, she has a place in his heart. And she'll always be there, and he'll always love her. And
yeah.
And I think that's what it was like a knife right in that of her just belting out everything,
Yeah.
His suit, though, it's kind of tacky.
Oh my god, I was like, red does not work for you, honey.
No, he's definitely not a red guy.
Nah, he looks so good in black, and we've gotten so used to him in black uniforms that it's just like, what's happening with the red? What's going on?
I don't know why he chose those colors. I mean, he could have chose maybe, I don't know, blue, maybe?
It go like an opposite color.
Navy. It couldn't even be like Supergirl's bright blue. I think it would have to be a really dark navy.
Yeah. I know I understand that superheroes have to be bright and colorful so they stand out, but there are some out there that do the better fashion statement stuff for themselves, and they look fabulous, and they are fabulous, and they're more memorable for that. So, but I don't know. The costume was completely just not working for him at all.
Yeah.
I think it was the shoulders, where the cape was connected, how it just looked really odd. and stiff, like it wouldn't be movable and comfortable.
Kind of like
He had
pauldrons and old medieval
he had
suits.
shoulder pads.
Yeah.
It just didn't look like it would be comfortable.
Probably wasn't.
No. But yeah, I'd like to know what else Emra and them told him. I know there has to be more.
I don't think they're telling him everything right at this point, but now that we've gotten symptoms of blight coming out, I feel like they're gonna have to spill the beans.
Yeah.
Or it's not even blight yet, it's pestilence. But like I saw a trailer and a teaser and they mentioned the word blight. So I like we talked about it, just them intervening when they're intervening is probably going to cause blight to come a lot faster than 1,000 years later. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of world killers,
Sam.
I
feel so sad for her.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to believe it.
No.
Well, she believes it now.
Yeah, now. After Lena pulled it out of her.
Lena had to freaking
I know.
Her.
I was like, when she was saying that stuff, I'm like, oh my god, she's poking the bear with the short stick. But she had to.
That was the only way she was gonna get Sam to believe, because like it was kind of like you have to see to believe situation. Even with the timeline evidence and stuff, it was just it didn't
too much for her.
It was a little overwhelming, and she wasn't connecting the dots. But
or it might have been connected, but she doesn't want to connect the dots because she didn't want to believe in the first place that could have been her, that she could be capable of hurting someone.
I do like how the trigger was Ruby.
Yeah.
Because Lena said, I'm going to make sure you never go near Ruby again. You're not going to see your daughter. And that's when the switch flipped and she went Rain. Yeah. So it's there's a lot of Sam now in Rain rather than Rain taking over Sam. So.
Well, I think that was really just the trigger. I'm not sure how much of.
Yeah.
Well, if it were like when she was first coming into Rain.
Yeah.
Mentioning taking away Ruby wouldn't have done anything. Rain would have just been Rain and been like, whatevs. But because the talk about Ruby being taken away, it angered Sam, and that's when Rain was able to come through. So I feel like Sam has more control over powers of the World Killer right now than she ever did before, because of what happened with Purity.
But now, I think now that she realizes that it's her, and I think, now that I think she's going to try to be in charge more.
She's definitely going to work with Lena to make sure they can figure this out so that she can have control, because freaking Sam, she was heartbroken to know of the things that she realized she had done all that stuff, and it was like, oh my god, I can't do this. I can't be.
I love the fact that Lena did the thing and realized that she was basically a different person. It was her DNA changed, and I was like, that's really interesting. It was like a whole other person.
Which, it explains how they are so human. Because they are actually physiologically human, while they're, human side. Sorry, that got away from me. Woo! Bye-bye.
It's Sunday, what do you expect?
Is it, okay, because of Rain, having her powers activated so late because of her being human, having a child, happened. Is that why Pestilence and Purity are coming so late in the end game, like in the game too?
Yeah, it seems like Rain is the
catalyst,
the head. She is forefront. The other two follow.
Okay. I almost thought the one alien that they were fighting with was Pestilence. The one that they imprisoned at the very beginning because of the reaction to John's meditating. Like, she was the first one to feel any of the psychic powers.
From what we said, between that race and the Martians, there's some kind of something between the two.
Well,
we didn't get much. I mean, some kind of.
No,
it almost. I don't know.
It's because her species is empathic, so they feel emotions. So they're semi-psychic. So, the ritual affects psychics and empaths before it'll affect other people.
Yeah.
I don't know if their races have any real connection.
No, his dad was freaked out. He's like, "Why didn't you tell me there were any of those here?"
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Dad, I don't know all the aliens. It's like, going up to someone that's like Italian. Hey, I'm an Italian friend. It's like, no, I don't know all of them. Or,
It's like everyone say, do you know this person from Canada? No, I don't. Just because I'm Canadian doesn't mean I know somebody from Newfoundland. Thank you.
Yeah, right? So,
that's funny. I can't believe people ask you that. Is that true?
They do.
People do that.
They do it with everything, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you're from this country, or you're of this race, or you're of this descent. It's like, that's not how it works.
I mean, even if you were to ask me,
Canadian,
do you know this person from the town you're from? I'd be like, probably not. I don't know everybody.
Also, how do you know someone from the town I'm from? That's a little weird.
One time I want someone to say that to me, and I'm just going to go, what's the name? I might. Oh, yeah, I know that person. They'll be like, what? Like, no, really, I don't. I just want to see your reaction, But that's just me. Because I'm a dick move. But, needless to say, but yeah, so.
James was cute this episode.
Yeah.
Well, and Nina is so stressed, and she doesn't want to tell him about this course. I totally understand why she's not telling him.
She doesn't realize that James has the in about some other things. So, I mean,
but still, I understand why she's not telling anyone, because that's pretty.
I mean,
and he has to respect her keeping secrets, because he's guardian, so he has to respect that.
Yep.
It's sweet, he brought her dinner. She's just like, look, we'll sit here together. And they talk, and they realize, she told him straight up, there's things I can't tell you about my job, because he's like, I understand.
Yeah.
Dude, I work at a paper. Do you not think you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's things about his job she can't tell her.
Mm-hmm.
But
even though she owns the place.
Yeah, right. But that's a relationship. There's all sorts of relationships like that. They're based on not being able to tell the other person something.
Yeah.
Like,
but you still
growing
trust.
up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you still
like
trust
growing
them.
up, my mom had a friend that was a cop, and she was a cop, and her husband was a lawyer.
Oh boy.
So.
Oh, if they were on opposite sides of a case.
Yeah, but no, they couldn't do that because it's conflict of interest.
Oh, I know, but still.
But there's things you can't talk about to each other. But if that's all your relationship is, it's not going to go any further. There has to be more.
No, I the way that these shows go, and I hate it, is that everyone's going to find out.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to find out. And then Lena's going to be the bad guy when she was the one helping the whole time.
I really don't think that's going to go that way.
No, it might not. It's a 50-50 at this point.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, you were keeping her captive. Well, she wanted to stay captive because she was a danger to this and this and this. And it's like, but you were keeping her captive. God damn it, didn't you just hear what I said? Like, there are some people some characters who only see it from one point of view.
I mean, even Sam, before she realizes Lena's right, says that. you know, don't trust a Luthor to call you a monster, a villain, or something. I don't remember what she said.
I think it was monster. But I mean, yeah, Lena has the Luthor last name, but she's not a Luthor. She was adopted.
No, she's a Luthor.
Oh yeah, she's half. Yeah, she's on the dad's side. But still, like, I mean, we've seen from her before that, you know, she has tendencies to be crazy like a Luthor, but she's gonna, like, Samantha, she considers her family because the rest of her family is either in jail, dead, or completely fucking crazy. So, like, Kara is family for Lena too, so she's gonna take all the stops, whether they are moral or not, to make sure her family is going to end up in one piece.
I think once she realized what is going on and everything, you know, Lena's the type that she's not going to just tell someone, oh, hey, I have this person captive. She gathers all the information first, compiles it, puts it in a neat little package, and then presents it.
Yeah.
She's a businesswoman, and that's how you do it. And that's what she's doing now.
Yeah, that's even what she said. When she's like, I even got some of Rain's DNA, and knowledge is power, so we're good.
But and people don't look at it that way. But I understand why she's doing it that way, because it's like giving people half of the information and then expecting them to just be okay with it. And it's like she wants to give them everything at once and be like, "This is what's going on. This is the solution. This, you know what I mean?"
I don't think Sam wants out of there either until things are figured out. So
because she told her straight out, "Don't tell me where Ruby is." She's like, don't tell me where she is.
Keep her away from me.
So yeah, she's not going to go in there. She's going to go in there fully loaded and spread everything out on the table. Like, if someone does it, catch on or catch her.
I don't know. The only person I feel like that would catch on, and like right now as we stand, would be James, because he's the one. He's the one actually coming into her workplace, not going down into, but he's coming into Luthor Tower or whatever, or L Corp or whatever it is nowadays. And yeah, I feel like he's the only one at this point who would catch on, being because he is a reporter and her boyfriend, so he would catch on the little quirks that she might be putting out, because she's obviously keeping secrets that aren't work related.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I mean, right now we can only guess, but from what I've seen of Lena, she has very much gathered every bit of information you can before presenting it to people.
Yeah.
Pardon.
So I hope they allow her to gather all the information they can before something happens.
Yeah. Before Supergirl and her team gets their noses in it.
Yep.
And think, oh no, it's Rain, we must do something about it, and then they actually imprison her instead of help her.
I mean, I might be less likely to happen just because of how they treated Purity, you know, because they did try to reach out to her human side.
I mean, her human side responded though. That's the thing. Yeah. Whereas Rain is just, like, at one point almost freaking killed Supergirl, so they're more inclined to take the more assertive reaction against her, even if she is plainly Sam in front of them. So, I mean, I just have, like, very little, like, faith in some of the characters. Like, I feel like they're just, like, they see black and white and they don't see the shades of gray.
Unfortunately, it's like a lot of these.
Yeah.
Oh well. We'll have to see how it happens. Right now, this is a we'll put things out there. You guess what might happen episode.
It's because we're getting so close to the end that they're giving us all these mysteries and not really
answering anything.
Because they're gonna answer everything in like one episode, 1 hour. Boy, finales are such headaches.
Yeah. Next episode is Of Two Minds. Supergirl and Imra must work together to stop the third world killer. Supergirl
Word
and Imra
killer.
have different ideas on how to stop the third world killer, Pestilence. However, when both Alex and Wynn are seriously injured by Pestilence, Supergirl and Imra team up to stop the destruction.
I did see a still of Alex and Wynn looking absolutely terrible in hospital beds. So,
Oof.
like, not like they got the hell beat out of them, like they were sick.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, try to say that
I mean,
third world killer like
Pestilence.
10 times fast. Go for it.
no thanks.
It's
I mean,
a challenge to you.
the first go round it was hard. So,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Excuse me.
It looks like we're all like wanting to go to bed now.
Oh, I know. It's not even like the latest we've done these podcasts. So it's just
No, it's only 8 here, so.
beat, man. All right. So I guess that's it, right? We got no more to say.
I mean, no.
All right.
Just
Pretty
that
cut and dry.
I think the funniest part, though, we're gonna reiterate, was when Alex had the reaction to the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
That
It
was
really was.
that was the most comical part in this
I
episode.
did like the charades though.
Oh, there was a game of charades,
Yeah,
right?
there were charades and
Mern.
Mern. I'm never gonna get it. Mern cheated. So many rules to your Earth games.
Right?
It was just supposed to be
Just
a
like-
spaceman.
Yeah, it's just like Monopoly. No one looks at the rules until something happens.
Yeah. Till there's a disagreement.
Let me look at the rules. I don't think anyone knows the full rules of Monopoly anyway, so.
There is actually like a freaking novel that's like this thick of how Monopoly is supposed to be played, and I saw it at Barnes not too long ago.
Oh, wow.
It's just like, wow, someone's getting really into it if it's that much of a problem.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Nikki, where can people find you?
On Twitter, not playing Monopoly at Lady Venom24, LadyVenom24.
Rachel, where can they find you?
Find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 and on Twitch at VikingWitch.
You can find me at Cleomoto on the socials, and you can find me on Etsy at Cleomoto Crafts. I'm also on Facebook at Cleomoto Crafts. You can find all of us at ASO TV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+. Right here on Twitch and YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of the things that you watch, maybe.
Stuff and things.
Stuff and things. Although we don't do Walking Dead anymore, so you're shit out of luck there.